Heading to the final 2 weeks of the regular season, West Branch hosting Wilton. It will be senior night, it will be Veterans Appreciation Night, and it is also inside track to the district championship night, as well as Wilton and West Branch come in both at 4-0 in district. If you were to tell us after the way last season finished, the way this game went last year, Jason, that these two would be fighting for a chance at the inside track to the district title, a lot of people would have been saying no way in the world that would be happening.
I got this little piece of paper in my back that I filled out back in. No, I'm just kidding. You're right. I mean, if you look at last year's score, the way West Branch literally, I hate using the term demoralized, but on paper defensively, I mean, they set school records for total offense and rush, holding a team to negative 39 yards rushing. Now you flip the script a year, and now Wilton beat an undefeated Albernet team on Friday night in Wilton, but they beat them 24-17. It was a hard-fought win, and now this game, as you mentioned, is basically for, we'll just say it, it's for the district championship. And we talked about it last. You said Albernet. I said don't sleep on Wilton. Mm-hmm. I cut you off because you were going to say it. Funny how it works out.
Yeah. Well, we said last week, every week gets better. We saw that a little bit Friday night against Wapello, where, the Bears, they had a challenge coming into that game. Wapello wasn't going away easy. The Bears finally found some things going. You know that Wilton is really going to be motivated from last year and from the opportunity to move to 5-0 and basically give themselves a chance at that district championship. So they're going to be ready, and it all starts with Javin Drake.
It does, and last year he was injured against West Branch. He didn't have the opportunity. He didn't play. So Evan Reifert played quarterback, is now a junior, is now one of his two leading receiving targets. Drake's thrown for a little under 1,100 yards. He's got Cody Navarro and Evan Reifert are his two leading receivers. Reifert's one, Navarro, they're right behind each other. Drake is kind of a do-everything guy, man. 1,100 yards. How you doing? 1,100 yards passing. He's got 500 and some odd yards rushing. I've said it before. I've talked with Coach Peterson and other people around the school here. He really is one of the better all-around athletes, not just on a football field, but in this, I about said Cedar Valley, River Valley Conference, and I'm sure it'll be the Wapsie Valley or whatever valley next year. But he's one of the better athletes, a great basketball player. He's a really tremendous pitcher as well.
Well, it's an opportunity for this defense to really do some good things, but they're really going to have to play assignment. We talk about assignment football. You've seen a lot of the jet sweep, different things. He's the type of guy that, if you break contain, if those defensive ends let him get outside, he can make a lot of plays with his feet. He can also continue to look down the field, throw that football. So, it's really going to test our ends and our linebackers especially.
When you got a quarterback that's had through 7 games, got about 560 to 600 yards rushing, averaging about 7 or 8 yards a carry, it's established. You're right. If you don't keep him here, keep him within arm reach of the ends inside, he's going to bounce outside. He's going to get some big yards. When a quarterback can move upfield on the outside, we saw that up in Bellevue. You got a quarterback who's an athlete, particularly like Drake or like a Cooper Koenig, they're going to get some yardage, Stephen. And the linebackers and outside linebackers always play a key, but against an athletic team like this, they're going to play a bigger key. And I think perhaps the biggest key is going to be the 5 guys up front. We've talked many, many times. You played it. You've seen it. You know what goes on. But those 5, their 5 against West Branch's 5, that's really going to decide the game anyway.
Right. And it's going to be very important, but throw in the fact that there's a couple of extra things going on. Number 1, senior night, last regular season home game for this group of seniors. Number 2, we've got the rescheduled Veterans Recognition Night. Forecast looks pretty good. Might be a little chilly, but looks pretty good. So a lot of extra stuff going on that really is going to make it for a great atmosphere at the Little Rose Bowl.
It's one of those things that you hope they take it in. Obviously, we want to pay our respects, again, to the veterans and all that they do. And then on a side note on this, real quickly, is Dave and Kathy McElrath and Brandon Keeler for all the work that they've done behind the scenes to get everything that you're going to see on Friday night before the game, at halftime, or whatever goes on. They are the folks that spearheaded this whole operation, so to speak. And then we want to thank Robertson. You're going to talk with Chris Robertson in the pregame. I want to thank he and his family, the Robertson Painting, for offering their boom truck. We're going to get some neat visuals of the kids walking down the street and of Oliphant Street as a whole from about 30, 40 feet up in the air. It's going to be so much different than what things that people have seen before from the Oliphant Street from the walk. Right. And that's so, but all those things combined with senior night makes it for an exciting night, but it's just other stuff that you hope the kids take it in, but then wash it out because they got 48 minutes of football to play.
Right.
So
And that's always the key is, that stuff is always really great. It's really fun. But as a coach, you don't worry about any of that. Once that first whistle sounds, everything's right there between the hashes. So that's where it is. It is going to be an earlier start. Again, 6:30 is the kickoff. We invite you to get there starting at 5:30. That's when the walk is. A lot of festivities going on from that point on. So get there early. It is a 6:30 kickoff. We'll have the Bearcast for those that can't make it, starting with the pregame at 6 o'clock. Should be a good one. The Bears and Wilton Friday night at the Little Rose Bowl.